I don't know what happened exactly, but yesterday we had a big rush of subscribers to my channel here. So by my standards, this is a lot. We had over 20 subscribers yesterday. I think 21 or 22. I'm usually getting like 2 a day. So this was something interesting happened. I don't know what. We went from 180 in the morning to 501 last night. And then we stuck there at 501. Still today, 24 hours later, it's still at 501. So I don't know what's going on. But I did promise to do a little giveaway when I hit 500 subscribers. So I'm going to tell you about that right now. It's going to be pretty simple. I have these 2 sets of cardboard cutting tools, which could help you with resizing boxes. I got 3 of them. I'm keeping 1 for myself. So there's a knife that's supposed to be designed specifically for cutting cardboard. I think it works like on an edge, like if you want to go this way. I think that's how it works. Probably not that useful, but this one, the little perforating wheel to help you do resizing and making perforations to fold your cardboard on is good. This is a very nice tool, and I'll be happy to give this away, and you can have the other knife just in case you can find a use for it. So like I said, I have 2 sets of these. I got them both at the Goodwill just like randomly, and I want to give them away to someone who has a use for them. So the way I'm going to do this, I think this is the way a lot of people do on YouTube. I'm going to suggest you leave a comment with the number 500 in it. Use the numbers 500. Think of a funny or clever way to put it in a sentence if you want. And then I'm going to wait a full week, and then I'll do a random drawing for these 2 for, searching all the comments for the word 500 and then pick 2 people at random. So a week from today, I will have another video that announces the names of the winners, and then you can contact me, and I'll get your information so that I can ship these out to you. So that's really it for tonight. Other than packing orders, I don't have any new inventory to show you. I do have a lot of new inventory. I just didn't have any time today to get any listings started. So nothing exciting to see. There is a lot of stuff upstairs that I have to get drafts written up, and then I'll bring them down here and take photos later. But for now, I'm going to go into the kitchen. I think there's either 4 or 5 orders that need to get packed. So we're going to pack those up tonight. And then we'll end the video by seeing exactly how much profit these orders brought in and how we're doing for the month. It's only the 3rd of November, but we're doing pretty well, I think. So if we can keep up the trend, we're going to have a good end of year. So, okay, that's enough talking. Leave your comments below, put the word 500, and then I will be going to the kitchen right now. So let's go. All right, I grabbed these. It turned out to be 4 orders, and I pulled some boxes together, and we're just going to start packing right away. All right, first thing up is some of these crate and barrel plates. These are ones that are called Culinary Arts porcelain. They have these deep rims. I think they're supposed to be designed to be used in a restaurant setting, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But that's what I believe. I don't really have a great size box for it. I have good boxes for like 1 or 2 of these plates, but this is a stack of 4, and they are, since they're so deep, they take up quite a lot of space. So I'm going to just try to Frankenstein some boxes together and make this work. And these are brand new boxes. I specifically bought these boxes for shipping dinner plates. They're like 15 by 15 by 4 or something like that. So if you're just shipping 1 or 2 plates, it's a good thickness. But for this tall stack, it's basically right on the top and the bottom. There's no space at all to put any padding around these. So I'm going to put that box, and then I'm just going to put a lid on it like this and make it a little bit taller. I'm putting some of these scraps of cardboard in here to strengthen this a little bit. You just stick those together. Hopefully they won't fall out again. And I'm going to put some in this side too, the bottom half. I don't know if they do that much, but it can't hurt. I have these extra scraps anyway. Might as well use them. Okay, get that out of the way. And then I'm going to get a big bundle of bubble wrap. We're going to go around this stack of plates in 2 different directions. So these 5 plates, I talk about it all the time, but I'll talk about it again. There's money to be made in these like off the shelf kind of big box store plates. So if you're looking for the ones to look for that I know of, I mean there could be others, are the Crate and Barrel ones. I think it's like just the most plain white ones are the best ones for my opinion. Crate and Barrel, some older IKEA ones, World Market can be good. It's stuff that most people don't buy designer plates. They buy plates from, I mean, even Target plates can do well, or any kind of dishes, not just plates. People don't buy this stuff, the fancy, expensive stuff. Most people don't. A lot of people go to IKEA. A lot of people went to IKEA in 1997 and bought an entire set of dishes when they got married or when they moved into a new house or something like that. And then all these years later, they're still using those dishes, but they've broken a couple of them and they're looking for replacements. There's nowhere to get that stuff now. These kind of stores, IKEA, Crate and Barrel, they're changing up their inventory all the time. Like maybe every year they have a whole new line of dishware. And so if you want to buy a replacement, there's nowhere to get it except for the secondary market. So eBay, maybe Etsy, I don't know. Replacements.com, that stuff is like astronomically priced. So if you have these plates or bowls or whatever, and somebody needs them or they really, really want them, they don't have any choice. They're going to go and buy them from eBay. So keep your eyes out for, I mean, start with Crate and Barrel. They're easy to find. The only problem is they just put like Crate and Barrel and then the country that they're made in on the bottom, and all of the logos on the bottom, the markings, they always look the same, and they never put, in my experience, they never put a pattern name. And they have, like I said, they're making new patterns every year. So you have to do quite a bit of digging around and doing some research, trying to find out what pattern you actually have. They do have pattern names, they just don't print them on there. So you can go on replacements.com and start searching. Just start scrolling, looking at every Crate and Barrel plate until you find one that has the exact same diameter, and then you can start looking at the details of like the shape of the rim or whatever. Or you can just list them and say white Crate and Barrel plates, and don't even put a pattern name on them, and let the buyer do that research. Like as long as you include good photos and measurements, the buyer might be able to determine if it's the plate that they need to match the set that they have. So I'm just packing these in here, trying to get as much space around them as possible. For these 4 plates, I paid $2 a piece. So after taxes and everything, I paid $8.50 for them, and I sold them for $78.99. So almost close to 10 times my cost of goods. I don't know if you can see me over here. I've got to open up a new roll of paper. And since I'm on the last one, I probably should go order some more tonight. So I don't want to run out of this during fourth quarter. During the fourth quarter, sales increase, and so you need to have more packing materials. And a company like, I usually buy stuff from Zorro.com. There might be better options, but right now that's who I've been using. And they ship quickly, but once we're in the holiday rush, if I run out of paper and I need it and they can't get it to me for 5 days because the post office is backed up or whatever, I need to be thinking about having all of the supplies I need right now. So I probably should go buy tape. I think I'm kind of low on tape, and I should buy more paper, and I might even have to buy more boxes. I am anticipating more and more sales as we get closer to the end of the year. At least I'm hoping for more. Right now, the number of sales I've been getting this month isn't astronomical, but it's been higher value items. So today we've got, these plates are like $80. We've got a couple of over $100 items. And I've been working on a counter offer situation, so I'm hoping this one comes to a conclusion before we finish up tonight, but I don't have high hopes that person's going to take my offer. I've been getting a lot of low offers lately. I don't think I told you the other day I got an offer. It's like a big vintage, I don't know how vintage it is, but it's an older CD player that holds like 400 or 500 CDs or something like that. And I've had it listed for $120 for a while, and I may have overpriced it. I'm not sure, but somebody sent me an offer of $50, and I rejected that offer, and I countered at 110. So basically, maybe it was like 105. I took a 10% off and sent them a counter offer, and then they counter offered back 55 or 60, and put a note that said, at this price, at the price you're asking, I won't be able to resell this for a profit. Which I thought was pretty funny. Like, you know, that's the business I'm in. I'm in the business of reselling for a profit. I'm not in the business of giving you a good deal so that you can make money. Like, I don't mind selling to a reseller if I'm making the money that I want, you know. What do I care? Once I sell it for the price I want, I don't care what you do with it. You sell to whoever you want. But if you're asking me to take off more than half of my price so that you can get a good profit on it, we're not going to come to an agreement. So I just I didn't block him, but I just, you know, rejected his offer. I thought it was pretty funny. Okay, this one's just about done. This is going to be a big box. I hope it's not too expensive. And I'm going to do the corners, something I don't always do, but this one is, I mean, it is kind of heavy. Those plates are heavy. It's not super heavy, but it is a little bit heavy, and it's packed pretty tightly with paper. So I'll put this extra tape on here. So this box used a lot of tape and used 2 boxes that are over $1 a piece. So there is definitely expense with packing materials here. But 80 bucks we got for these, close to. I'm writing plates on here, and then get on the scale. 12 pounds, 11 pounds, 5 ounces. So that's basically 12 pounds. And this is 16 by 16 by 9. So pretty big. This might be too big for USPS. Okay, got another counter offer. This is on a separate item, a bowling ball. I have it for 50. They offered me 25. I counter offered 40, and now they're counter offering 30. So I'm just gonna go back to the 40. Like, I can't sell this cheaper than that. Although, let me see. All right, I'm gonna look at my notes in in the eBay custom SKU field. I paid $4.40 for this bowling ball on what date? May of this year, so 5 to 6 months ago, which is kind of a long time. And they're offering me 30. I'm gonna just go back to 40. I still want that 40. Maybe it's not worth it, I don't know, but I'm trying to get 40. Let me try something sneaky. Let me go back. 39. I don't know what my first offer was. They offered me 20, and then I offered something, but I don't remember what it was. This is 22% off my asking price, which is lower than I would normally go. I'm going to submit that counter offer, and then if they come back lower than this, I'm going to just reject it. I don't know. Maybe I'm cutting off my nose to spite my face. Okay, let's go back here. This cough has been killing me, so I just had a cough drop right before I started filming, but it's not really helping. Okay, bye. I got to get back to find out who these plates are going to. They're going, every time I ship something fragile, it's going to California. It's going to California to KA. So I'll put that on the box, and then we'll move on to the next item, which is gonna be a whole bunch of pairs of pantyhose. I just listed yesterday or the day before, probably yesterday. I think it's like 33 pairs of vintage pantyhose. I don't have any idea what those are worth. Like, I feel like if I was gonna list them individually, I would have them at $10 a piece, and they would probably sit for a long time without anybody buying them. In this case, these came out of my death pile. I don't know where I got them for sure, and I don't know what I paid for them. So I just put, so they're like this, you know, these little packages of pantyhose. I put $58. I don't know what I put. I think I put $59.99, and somebody sent me a 50. I don't know. Anyway, they paid $58.49. I'm sending out so many offers all the time, and I usually just stick with 10%. So I don't know how to do that in reverse to figure out how much this was originally. My math skills aren't that great, so I don't really know how to do that backwards to figure out if I sold it for $58.49 at 10% off, what was the original price. But we're about to get close to $60 for a bunch of pantyhose that have been in my closet probably for 2 years. So that's fine, we'll take it. I'm gonna have to shrink this box down a little, so let's get the resizing tool and take these out of the way. I have another lot like this, and when this sold so quickly, I thought there has to be the other lot, because why would a similar lot at a similar price still be sitting while this sold after only one day? But these are the ones I just listed yesterday, so who knows? I might have to go look at that other listing and see if I have the shipping wrong or something like that. That's scaring away customers. And maybe I'll just lower whatever the price is. I'll just lower it. I don't need to keep this stuff forever. Oops. Let's see how much this weighs. This is just over 6 pounds, so I'm gonna take these flaps off. I like to have them around anyway. I need them for future packing stuff. I don't need to just always leave them attached. Okay, so I'll save these 3 for another time. And this is gonna be down under 6 pounds now, so that'd be good. That's better. I don't know what I put as the weight. I can't imagine I thought this was gonna weigh 6 pounds. I don't remember. I don't feel like I probably weighed this. I probably just guessed a weight on it. I'm doing these edges again, mostly just because this box is not standard anymore. Cut these flaps off and it's weird, so. Okay, 5 pounds 14, so 6 pounds. 12 by 12 by 8. And who's it going to? I'm gonna write hose on here. This is going to DS in Arizona, AZ. So we'll worry about that later. All right, now this can go away. I have a box down here for the next item, which is this was a good pickup. I got this vintage Sony cassette Walkman. It also has a TV tuner on it, so you can listen to the television. I don't know if there's anything coming over the air like that anymore. Maybe there is. I paid $3 for it, I think, at an estate sale. It says $3.17, so this is take the whole amount I spent at the estate sale and average out cost per item. So I think I actually paid $5 for that, but by the law of averages, it's down to $3.17. And these things are great. I mean, if you can find one that's in working condition, even out of the package, you're probably talking about $80, maybe $90. This one I did take an offer. I sent an offer. Okay, somebody declined my offer on the bowling ball, and then I sold something else that's not related to any of those offer systems, those offers I've been dealing with. So anyway, this is brand new in the package. So some of these sell for like as much as 180. I had this one listed at 125, and then I think it was 125. I don't know what it was. We're in the same boat as before. I sent an offer of something, and I sent a 10% offer off of whatever I had it listed for, and it's now at $116.99. And I just listed this like 2 days ago. So if you find a vintage Walkman, like Sony ones are good. I'm sure other brands are good too. The Sony ones are gonna get you the best return on your investment, but the chances of it working are slim. Even this one that's in the box, it's very possible it doesn't work because they run on rubber belts, and that rubber deteriorates over time. So if this is old enough, or if it was at a time period where they were using worse quality rubber, then it's probably not going to work. So I'm hoping this doesn't come back to me open. If somebody buys it and then they open it and then I have to sell it as for parts, for repair, then I'm going to be mad. So hopefully this works itself out. Have no problems with it. This might be the first Walkman that I purchased that actually worked. Sometimes it's worth it to try to fix them. You can buy those belts for like $5 or $10 for a set of belts. I'm gonna give this camera a little break because I think it's starting to overheat. I'll be right back. Okay, we'll give it a shot again. So what was I talking about? The belts. You can get those belts and you can try to repair it yourself. And if it's worth it, maybe you could sell this for $10 or $12 or maybe $20 for a parts machine. But you can buy $5 or $10 worth of belts and sell it for $120 or $180. Then maybe you want to do that. I tried it before and it still didn't work. I put new belts in and it didn't work. I tried it with one Walkman. So I think I'm done doing that. I'm not a electronics repairman. Okay, this box is about 1.8 pounds, 1 pound 8 ounces rather, and it's going to Florida, and it has a suspiciously long name of the person that is being shipped to. So I suspect this is going to be a freight forwarder. And sometimes those freight forwarders can give you trouble. Like they will, I've had it happen probably 5 times where something is shipped to Florida or Texas or Oregon or a couple of other states, and then somebody there then ships it off to China or Puerto Rico or wherever, any place in the world. And then that person gets it, and then they say they want to get a refund, and there's no way to send them a label to ship it back to you. So they're trying to get you to just pay them, give them a refund on the item without having to ship it back. So if that happens to you, you just have to say, you just have to tell them, yeah, go ahead and return it. And then just keep saying return it until they give up. Or you can contact eBay, tell them what the situation is. It's not against eBay's policy to use a freight forwarder, but once that package goes, once it goes past the person that you're delivered to, you're no longer responsible for it. So don't let anybody push you around with that. They will try. They have tried it with me several times. And the only thing you can do is just say, no, I'm not going to send you a shipping label in Honduras or wherever they are. Okay, final order today is one of these vintage color by number sheets. These are Venus Paradise. I think they're from the 50s, and I have a ton of these. I think I started with like 24 of them. This is another thing I pulled out of my death pile. They had been sitting for at least a year, and I finally pulled them out and started looking them up, and they're worth a lot of money. I've sold several of these for $125 for these 5 sheets of paper. This is probably the 6th or 7th one I sold. This one I must have sent an offer, but it's not an offer that makes sense to me because this sold for $100 even. And most of the time I do 10% off offers. So what does Google think's happening? Never mind Google. So usually I do 10% offers. So 10% of 125 is $112.50. Not 100. So it's possible, it's very unlikely I would have sent a 20% offer. So this feels like, I have heard people say sometimes eBay just kind of magically decides to give people offers of certain amounts. And I don't believe that's probably true, but it could be. Because I can't imagine a situation where I would have said, I'm going to give you 20% off. Unless, no, I had a sale running, but it was only 10%. And I mean, it was 15% off. So I don't know. It's certainly possible. I mean, I think when you send an offer, it lasts for 48 hours. No, I think it lasts for 4 days. So it's possible that 4 days ago, I decided I only needed to get $100 for this. And I sent somebody a flat $100 offer. I don't remember doing it, but it's definitely possible. So I put that inside this flat sheet. This was just a box that I cut open. And then it's not really that stiff because both the corrugations are both going in this direction on both sides. So I made a third sheet. This is the same thing I did yesterday with something. I don't even remember what. I made a third sheet that's the exact same size, and it has the corrugation running in the opposite direction. So that will stiffen this thing up to an unbelievable amount. Like there's no way that you could bend this at this point. I mean, you could bend it, obviously, it's just cardboard. But this isn't going to accidentally get bent unless it gets, run over by a truck or some super heavy package gets thrown on top of it in a weird angle or something. But right now, I have no concerns. I sent all the others of these. I think, did I say this was the 6th one I sold? It's probably something like that, 5 or 6 or 7. I sold all the others in this exact same configuration, and I haven't had any problems with them getting delivered. Okay, we're almost done here. I'm going to write on here, Venus, the company is called Venus Paradise. They make, I think they still make colored pencils. So this kit would have, it tells you like, use these 5 colors. It has like the numbers of the pencils that it wants you to use. This is only 8 ounces and it's going to be 14 by 11 by 1. It's going to, this is a repeat buyer. I haven't looked to see what else he bought, but I'm assuming it's somebody who bought one of these already. Oh, okay, that's good. The sale that just came in it's not a great profit sale, but it's something I'm glad to get rid of. Okay, this is going to Maryland, and it's going to MW in Maryland. Okay, I'm gonna go grab the other stuff the order that just came in, and then we'll pack that and be done for the night. Okay, this final order that just came in, I mean, assuming it's the final order, maybe there'll be another. this was a bad purchase, I guess. I knew that some hair curling irons and things can be valuable, and I just found one. I just was talking about one last night that's worth over $100 if it's still in the box. So I was at an estate sale. It was the woman who owned the home was probably a hairstylist. She had a little beauty shop in the basement. And there were all of these different curling irons and whatever you call these, hot combs and stuff. There's 6 of them here. They were $1 a piece. I didn't do any research. I just figured throw them all together. Maybe one of these will be worth something. And then it turns out none of them are worth anything really. So I just lotted these all together and sold them for 17 bucks. I'm going to try to squeeze them into this small box, which is probably not the best box I could use, but I don't really have a box that feels appropriate for these. So for something that I didn't make, I'm not going to make any money on these. It's going to be like $11 after, and then plus fees. So we'll probably make like 7 bucks on these at the most. So we're just going to get rid of them in a box that's cheap, you know, an easy to get box. I don't want to use an expensive box on these because I'm not really making any money on this deal. So I'm just trying to get them into this box, and it's going to be a little bit of a tight squeeze, but I think they'll fit. Well, maybe they won't. We'll see. This isn't the kind of packaging I would recommend anybody do. So what's the thing they say? Don't do as I do. Do as I say, not as I do. Is that a phrase? Is that how it goes? So there's still some room in here. Actually, I'll put a little paper just to keep it from rattling around, and then I'm just gonna close this up and call it done. So curls, I'm writing curls on here. This box weighs kind of a lot. 4 pounds. 13 by 11 by 3. It's going to TM in Texas. TM in TX. Okay, I'm gonna buy these shipping labels and then I'll come back and tell you all about the profits. Okay, so we got 5 boxes. They all have labels. All 5 of these are going to FedEx, which is, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. The post office should be cheaper than FedEx. Even this little lightweight thing is like 15 cents cheaper to go to FedEx. So normally I would probably ship this USPS but since I'm making a trip there anyway to the FedEx office, I might as well save that 15 cents. Also, this week, my carrier is on vacation, and I usually do porch pickups. I would just request that they get picked up tomorrow. She's not here. She left me a note telling me that she was going to be gone. And already today, it's Monday, they did not pick up my packages. So I got home from work, and I had to rush over to the post office and get them delivered. Because, I mean, I offer next day shipping. I can't miss a day. If they're not going to pick it up, then I have to take care of it myself. So those went out today. These are going to go to FedEx on my way to work in the morning. So, okay, let's go through the profits. Let me bring this over a little bit. Okay, that's close enough. Let's see, get my spreadsheet open. All right, let's start at the top. There's only 5 orders. We'll go through this quickly. The lot of pantyhose, 33 pairs of brand new pantyhose. They're vintage. They're older ones. After cost of goods and shipping and fees and everything, I have to do some work here. I'll be right back. Okay, I had messed up some of my data in my spreadsheet, so I've got it all fixed, and so let's go through these packages. The pantyhose, 33 pairs of pantyhose, earned me $29.60. They probably could have, if I listed them one by one, I could have probably made $300 or $200, but I need to get this stuff out of here, so they're gone. The crate and barrel plates, that's a lot of 4 plates. I have another set of 4 exactly the same in there. Those earned after fees and everything and cost of goods, $59.12. The Sony Walkman, $99.97. The color by number sheet, $86.71. And then finally those curling irons, $7.48. So we're looking at a total profit today of $282.88. It's just about 10, just a few minutes before 10 o'clock, and we have until 2 a.m. That's eBay time when they end, official end of the day. eBay time is at 2 a.m. my time. So it's possible, not necessarily probable, but possible that we'll get another order or 2 before the end of the night. And I'd be happy if we did. I'd like that number to be over 300 tonight. I thought it was going to be higher, But some of these shipping costs were a little bit more expensive than I expected. And I was imagining that coloring page would have sold for 125, not for 100. If that hadn't been the case, we'd be over 300 right now. So anyway, we've had 3 pretty good days so far this month. On the first, we made $195. On the second, $308. And then today, $282. So I'm looking for an average profit per day of $203 for the rest of the year. That's the number that I need to get every single day on average to reach my goal of $50,000 this year. And right now, average per day is $262.31. So we're well above the 203, but it just takes one bad day to knock that way below what number I need. So let's keep our fingers crossed that every day of this month will be more than $200. And then we've got December, which usually is going to be even better than November. So if you want to see if we do get to $50,000, make sure to subscribe and follow along. And if you subscribe, you also won't miss when I publish the video showing or telling who the winners are of the cardboard cutting toolkit. So remember, leave the numbers 500 in the comments, and then wait about a week, and then I'll get back to you to let you know who won. Okay, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I never really thought I would get to 500 subscribers, so it's thanks to you. And I really can't tell you how happy it makes me. So thanks.